It means that we punched our ticket to go try to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Monday Night Uncensored. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP, from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy Monday to you, and happy Monday to all of Bills Mafia. And yes, I am in my car. I got called into work tonight, but, you know, what I do for the Mafia, right? What I do for the Mafia. Jarek will be also joining us tonight. At some point. But what's up, Mikey?
Not much. We're what, 4 days away from the draft, you know.
Yeah.
And I popped in, I looked at what was in the chat, and of course, you know, the first thing I see, our buddy Weston messing with me about his Chiefs. But here's the wild thing, Tommy. Jordan Tyson may not be there at 9. They're talking about him going at 5 to the Giants.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I think that was a great trade for the Giants. I don't, you know, Dexter Lawrence. Look, he for a first round pick that was fine for me, but a lot of people had him. You know, if they were going to make a trade, it would be somebody that was getting a late round first round pick, like at the end of the round. So for them to acquire a top 10 pick is a great trade for the Giants.
Good trade for the
so everything
Bengals too.
Hearing, yeah, for the Bengals, they get their guy, they get their playmaker, but the Bengals have also overpaid a little bit this offseason with some of their defenders, so the players that they got. And so very interested to see, and they're gonna have to pay Dexter Lawrence. So they got a lot of money right now going towards defense. We'll see if it works out, but I do think the Giants are going to wind up getting 2 of the guys they want, Tyson and the linebacker. What's his name? I'm having a brain fart here.
Styles.
Yep, I'm hearing
Styles last to 10. No way, Styles last to 10.
Styles first. Styles first because they got They got 2 picks in the top 10. They're going to get Styles the first pick, and they're going to go ahead and get Tyson with the 10th.
Okay. Jarrett came in and said that the link didn't work. He got the wrong link.
Okay, so I'll do me a favor. Share the link with me real quick, which is weird, but share the link with me. Send it to my email it to me. So copy link, invite. You know how to invite, right?
Yeah, I'll figure it out. We can keep
it's
going.
In the middle.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure it out why we're doing this.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll get your jump going, Jared. That's weird.
Yeah. All right. Why I'm doing this.
Everybody can hear me fine. Let me know if I'm going in and out or anything like that, and I'll switch to my phone.
A little bit, but it's not horrible.
Okay.
Key says, stopping in the show before the Nuggets game. All right. Thanks, Keys. Appreciate you being in here tonight. Bean Island, baby. Bean Island. Oh, look who joined us. What's going on, Jarek? Welcome.
Okay.
All right, I got it. I got it. It kept sending me to like the one. It was like an hour and 50. I don't know. StreamYard sucks.
Oh, I don't hear Jared. You hear him?
Yeah, I hear Jared.
Oh, I don't hear him.
Oh.
Oh, that's the problem on my end. Rut row. Okay, I'm gonna go on my phone and see if it's any better. You guys talk.
Okay.
I'll be back, guys.
All right. So, Jarek, we were talking about this as our buddy Weston came in and was talking about the KC picking at 9. He said he wants Bane or Tyson. I don't know if you saw the report today, but they're saying that Tyson might go 5 to the Giants. Uh-oh, did I lose Jarek?
Oh, technical difficulties.
Oh, he's back. Nope. Yep. Can't tell. Mike's sitting here by himself.
StreamYard, man. God damn it.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. This is the best podcasting ever. So while I'm waiting for these gentlemen to come in, let's do this. Westing says, I think the Giants go Styles at 5 and Downs at 10. I don't know. Yeah, but then they miss out on the receiver that they really want. That's the problem. Because outside neighbors, they don't really have a ton. So I think they were trying to get one, unless they're going to go receiver later with their first pick in the second, which is possible. But then they lose out on one of those top 3. But Styles and Downs together. Does Downs make it to 10? Don't you think the Chiefs would take Downs at 10 if he was there? Weston? That's the real question. Says streamer left, no podcast. Be great. Right? Gotta love technical difficulties. Those are the best. But we'll figure this out as we go through. So Weston, you tell me, do you think the Chiefs would take Downs at 10 if he's there? And why we do this, I want those that are in here. We are going to do a mock draft tonight that is for you guys. And we'll wait a few minutes before we get started, but we will be doing a Mafia mock draft tonight where you guys get to decide. So we'll figure that part out as well. All right. What is going on here? Now I hear nothing. All right. Hold on 1 second. We have technical difficulties going on big time. I don't know why. I will be right back.
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
All right, Tommy, you're back.
I'm back.
Derek disappeared. I don't know. He's having difficulties.
Okay, weird. I see him backstage.
I
still.
see you better. Yeah, he's back there, but like his mic's not on. He can't figure out. He can't hear me. It's just been
weird. All right. Tell him to log out and log back in. Like just leave and come back in. But you can see me good now. Everything's okay.
Oh, it's a much better setup.
All right. Yeah, I'm on my phone now. So
This is the best podcasting ever.
Dude, we try, man. we try. We're trying.
Okay, Weston did reply back to me because we were talking about the Chiefs might taking Downs. Since I don't think Chiefs would take Downs at 9. Everything now might be different, but from the local news, they're planning on. But what if Bane and Tyson aren't there? What do they do?
Hold on. I'm removing people. I made a mistake. Shit. All right, I'm gonna come back in.
Oh God. He's still here. And it's still going. All right. Downs, I need that mild Jack treatment. Let him slide. That would be nice. Let him slide down to 26. I'll take Downs. What's going on, Sandra? We're having fun tonight with Tommy hanging out in his car.
I'm trying, man.
Hanging
I'm just
out in
gonna
his car.
I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm not gonna mess with my screen no more. Nothing.
All right, let's see if Jarek's back now.
All right,
Jarek, are you
Jarek.
there?
I'm here.
I can hear Jarek.
There we go.
I can hear him. I can hear him.
We got this.
Got this now. We got this, boys. I knew we could do it.
We pulled off a McDermott, man. We made second half adjustments after having a bad first half.
I'm telling you, man, that was a rough start, man. Rough beginning, but Mikey's saving the show. He's saving the
Whatever.
show.
Mikey doesn't do well on his own. All right. I need someone to bounce things off of. If I just hear my own voice in my head, it's all bad.
You're good.
I don't do well talking to myself at all.
You're good. You're good.
Weston comes in and says if Bane and Tyson aren't there, they may trade out with the third option. I've been hearing trading out to 12 or 13 with the Rams or Cowboys and take the tight end. Okay. That would be interesting. A replacement for Kelsey?
Yeah. I could see that. I mean, how long does Kelsey really have? Like, what did they give him, a 3-year deal?
They gave him a 3-year, but out after 1.
Right. So I think once again, it'll be one of those seasons where he's thinking about it, depending on how the season goes. All right.
Well, and depending on when Pat comes back and all that's going to depend.
Yeah. That'll right. Yep.
I mean, if there's anyone's going to get anything out of Justin Fields, it's Andy Reid, though.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know about, taking over as starter after, Mahomes' departure, but, whenever that is. But you're right. If anyone can get the best out of Fields, it's going to be, it'll definitely be Andy Reid.
Right. The lead from the local options is Tyson, Bane, trade out and pick the tight end. Okay. Mikey does better than than Keys. All right. Kelsey this game probably only has 1 or 2 years left. I think he would have retired last year. If they would have made the playoffs, I really believe he would have left. But the fact that they didn't make the playoffs, he couldn't go out like that.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Do you think Reid will get the best out of Elam? I don't think it'll be Reid that'll get the best out of him. I think it's the DC over there that's going to get the best out of him. That guy just gets the best out of, it doesn't matter what corners he has. He just figures out and they play well. I mean,
Spags. Yeah, Spags can't get Elam, on the field on game days or even as a rotational anything. Then it's just the NFL is probably not for Elam. Right. So we'll see what happens.
But if Spags gets the best out of Elam, and he becomes really good, kind of tells you all you need to know about why we went the way we went.
It does, but he did get a shot in Dallas, started off okay, and then winded up getting cut. He
didn't have the best DC in Dallas.
No, he didn't, but that was another opportunity. This will be third. 3 strikes, you're out, right? So we'll see what happens with Kansas City.
He also had a chance with the Titans, but they didn't have a great setup
true.
there either.
True.
So, we take what we can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit Buffalo Bills though.
Yeah.
Because they've been talking about it. Bean was on today. Josh was on today. I don't know if you listened to any
Brady
of the stuff.
Yep.
Brady was on today. I didn't hear Brady's. I heard Bean's and I heard Josh's. Josh talked about having the bone removed from his foot. That's just weird.
It was a floating bone. So I guess that had to have been painful. Something floating around like a basically a piece of bone floating around your foot. Yeah, that fucking blows, right? Like that had to have hurt all season. Imagine, right? You have to tie up your shoes, run around. You got some fucking bone, little piece of bone floating,
messing with your tendons and
right,
and all that end up into your feet. So,
bro, right? Yeah. Warrior. That's what we got right there in Josh, man. He could play through a lot of pain.
So I've been waiting multiple weeks to get Jarek on because I wanted to ask him about what his draft suggestions would be. What is his strategy? Last year, me and him were very similar on what we wanted, and then they didn't go our route, and the guys that we wanted ended up being really well. So, Jarek, at 26, what do you want the Bills to do?
They need to trade back. Well, the first thing I wanted to do was trade for Dexter Lawrence. Now I understand that Dexter Lawrence is now a Cincinnati Bengal, but it is what it is with that. But they need to trade back out of that thing. Because again, it's such a huge jump from pick 26 to pick 91 that that's almost a 4th round pick. We got to get more draft capital in a year where, unfortunately for us, we just don't have depth at a lot of important key pieces. And I don't know if a lot of these rookies are going to solve that with the limited amount of draft capital we have. Brandon Beans Butter is day 3, so we got to give him that credit. But we need draft capital. We need it badly. We're getting to that portion of the year where, yes, we can continue to restructure contracts and listen. This free agency period, it's going to continue to be like this with Bean, because we're just going to continue to back these contracts down the road. We'll extend some of our guys ultimately, but we can't go out and spend a crap ton of money like we used to. As teams are starting to restart, they're starting to rebuild, and they're starting to go ahead and spend those and spend premium dollars to try to get specific, to try to get these unique free agents. Right? They have a lot of draft capital, like the Dolphins and the Steelers with 12 draft picks. Like we were in that position last year and we blew it. I told Mikey and Tommy both of this before. I said that last year was the most important draft, or you make an argument, in the last 10, 15 years, because we will never have this draft capital unless Josh Allen is gone. We will never have it until Josh Allen is going to be traded until the next time we have this, we're resetting. We're completely resetting the amount of draft capital we had. We had 6 day 1 and day 2 picks. We decided to trade up for Cooper, which I don't blame him for doing. But then what did you do? You decided to trade up to get TJ Sanders, and then you took Landon Jackson. When you could have got Alfred Collins, you could have got Jonas Sanker, you could have had Xavier Watts, you had a plenty, you could have had Jamari Caldwell. There was a plenty of players that you could have taken that could have helped be this the building bridge for the next generation of players, and we screwed it up. Now, whether that's McDermott or whether that's Brandon Beane, we'll see what Brandon Beane can do. But unfortunately, we just don't have the draft capital this year. We're limited. Now, thankfully, we have a comp pick, but nobody wanted to pick up Joey Bosa because that could have been another 5th round pick for us. And so, it is what it is. We're going to have to figure out how to play this game. And I feel like the best way for us to play the game is by trading back. You just got to find a trade partner. And so we don't have that leverage on our side right now. We have to hope that we have to hope that Ty Simpson doesn't go early. You never know. Like, that's our best bet right now is Ty Simpson or one of these players that maybe we're not interested in, that one of these guys are going to make a phone call to us and say, hey, we'll take an Omar Cooper, or we'll trade up to try to get a Christian Miller or a Cassius Howell, maybe a Derek Moore, maybe Keldrick falls, and they may say, hey, we're interested in trading up for you to get a Keldrick Falk, but we're not at the mercy, because if there's no teams that are willing to deal with us, then I don't know what you do at 26. I just, again, you can go either way, and you can try to just, you just have to choose the best available prospect on the board. But the best situation for us is to try to trade back and get something going back into day 2.
I'm with you on that. So let me ask you this question. Me and Tommy have been going back and forth. Are you wide receiver at 26? Or are you D tackle at 26 if they stay in pick?
I'm at D tackle. I feel like
D tackle.
Yeah, I'm at defensive tackle at this point. Now the type of defensive tackle, believe it or not, y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say about it. But just doing the research in terms of what Jim Leonard likes to do with his defenses, I don't think he's going to get the nose tackle that people would hope he would get. I think if he's going to get a nose tackle, he's going to get a movement-based nose tackle instead of a straight-up plugger. And so I hate to say it, the Bills love this a lot. They love Grayson Halton. I understand that people may be upset about it. They may say, wait a minute, he's 290
Grayson at 26?
Oh, no. You're not taking Grayson Halton at 26. You're not taking him at 26.
Yeah, at 91, I could see it.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely see it for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they get a movement-based defensive tackle. Caleb Banks, I'm not taking him out of the equation. I understand he got a foot injury, but he's expected to be back during training camp. He injured his foot because he didn't listen to his medical staff when they told him sit down until the comp sit down until your pro day. Didn't listen. because he was worried about his draft stock falling, and then he just re-injured the foot. Otherwise we would be fine. But that dude's a freak of nature, another Deion Walker-esque type of player in terms of freaky, big athlete that has out of this world agility. And so I'm not taking that out of consideration. I'm not sold on. Listen, I like Christian Miller a lot. I like his running. I like Christian Miller a lot. I think Caden McDonald is the two-down nose that he's going to play a limited amount of snaps. Jim Leonard does not play a high. He doesn't play his nose tackles. He like the nose tackles and that type of Vance Joseph, Jim Leonard, Corsell sort of defense. They play around 25% of the snaps. So it's like, are you really going to get a two? I mean, first of all, can you utilize him in different stunt variations? What can he do in pass rushing situations? Well, Caden McDonald's not that type of player. He's the type of player that if you're going to use him in stunts, you're going to use him to crash. You don't want him to loop. You don't want him to use it in different twists. They don't run a lot of nose over tackle at Ohio State. They don't run a lot of tackle over nose or ET or TE stunt. They don't run these kind of unique, funky based movement based stunt variations that Jim Leonard is accustomed for his nose tackles to having. He likes a Keanu Benton, right? Keanu Benton was an undersized nose tackle, but guess what? His ability to crash and use him in different stunt variations helped that Wisconsin defense play. Who was the nose tackle for the Denver Broncos this year with Vance Joseph? It was the nose tackle from Texas, who's 295 pounds. They had a 295-pound nose tackle manning up the middle, and he wasn't playing. And he was occasionally asked to play those two-gap responsibilities, but that's not the type of nose tackle that he did, right? Those defensive tackles and their ends were more focused on penetration, while the ends were the ones that were kind of stacking up the line and kind of reading and directing. The D tackles were just penetrating. They were just simply gap penetrating. So, we don't know how this thing is going to work. I think we can presume of how this thing can really work, but if we're just basing this off of what he did at Wisconsin and what he's carrying over for the Denver Broncos, I don't think he's going to value a Caden McDonald. A Christian Miller, sure, because Christian Miller is a three-down defensive tackle, and he's got some athletic ability to him. Lee Hunter played in that similar style of movement-based defense with Texas Tech, but for the most part, Lee Hunter is more of a, he's more power. He's more catered towards bull rushing, push pull, taking on. He's
a run stopper.
Exactly. Like that's Lee Hunter. He's power.
Big Citrus is the same way.
Yep. Right. Just explosive. They rely a lot more on their other athletic gifts to get to the quarterback rather than playing run responsibility. Their job is just to cause havoc. So, it's I don't know if the type of defensive tackle that Jim Leonard wants is going to be in the first round. That's why I think that if anything, I think a Grayson Holton, and I think that's their ultimate type. Jay Valai, Jay Valai. What does Jay Valai come from? He comes from a movement-based defense. What do they do with their defensive tackles? They led the country in stunts with their DTs. And Grayson Holton was playing a lot more at 0 and 1 than what we give him credit for. So it's just one of those situations where it's like, it just seems like the stars are aligning that they're more prioritized on movement-based defensive tackles and maybe getting those run-stuffing ends like a Tyreek Sapp, who we all know the Bills are starting to like. They just brought in George Gumps, who's also a run-stuffing defensive end that has athletic upside.
So do you think they would lean more towards like the Peter Woods type, who isn't more, who isn't that big run stuffer?
I could see it. Again, I could see it for the most part because I think he's a 4-eye slasher. He would be a 4-eye slasher within the 3-4 defense, and then he would just play as your regular 3 tech, or you could even you can just kind of wind him up a little bit just on a regular 4-man, either in a 5-man front, 4-man front. You can just do that with him. I don't think he's as explosive or as athletic as a Grayson Holton, but Peter Woods is smart. Very, very smart player. I think, again, he had a little bit of a down year. But, again, if you look at his 24 tape, he looked like he would have been the number 1 tackle taken out of this class. So it's like, it's the tale of two halves. He doesn't have the greatest measurables. He's not the biggest guy in the world. You don't know, is he going to fit necessarily within this defense? Again, I think there's a lot more potential and upside with him. But, again, it's like, do you want to risk taking that in the first? Like, is there a huge disparity between him, Grayson Holton, or I would even say like a Caleb Proctor? Like, is there a huge disparity based off what we saw from this film? And I just don't think that there's a huge disparity and that they're willing to take it in the first round.
See, here's where I think I'm D tackle round 1, because I think if they're going to go that way, I think you take a Caleb Proctor in round 3 or 4 versus taking a Christian Miller at 26. Go grab the wide receiver if it's there, or trade back and grab one of the linebackers, or do something along those lines that are going to bring more ROI on that first pick. Me and Tommy got in a debate about this early. Now, I am for the D tackle at 26 if they're going to find a true difference maker, and that will help move Walker out of nose and into more of that, 5 tech 4i, because I think that's where he would actually probably bring the most value due to his pass rush skills. He's more of a 3 tech than he is a 1 tech.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. But is there a wide receiver you would take at 26?
I'll take KC. I would take, Omar Cooper is not my favorite, but I don't mind taking Omar Cooper because I feel like, they want an interchangeable receiver. Is there an interchangeable receiver that has great spatial awareness, great after the catch ability? You can use them in different spots, which we've been trying to find that type of receiver for years. Hasn't really worked out. I don't think you're going to find a Cole Beasley. To me, I think the closest thing to Cole Beasley in this draft is an Antonio Williams. But that's more round 3. I don't think you're going to find a Stephon Diggs. I just think that for the most part, can you find a reliable target that's interchangeable? And I think that's KC and Omar Cooper. If you want to choose that for 26, I think KC's the best. I think Omar has the highest upside because of his physical intangibles. I think after the catch ability, Omar Cooper is extremely he's nasty after the catch. Very, very tough to bring down the run. KC's a little bit more shiftier. But yeah, if you're just talking about a safe, reliable sort of receiver at 26, you can take KC. I won't even mind Denzel Boston. I know for some reason Denzel Boston is getting, Bills fans have been killing Denzel Boston. I don't see it. I think Denzel Boston
calling him Coleman 2.0.
Yeah, they're completely different players. Again, just because they're both 6'4" and they have really good contested catch rates. Now, again, why did we just do that with Carno Tate if we're gonna compare it to Keon Coleman? But Denzel Boston won't be the sexiest pick in the world, but he is an upgrade. He is essentially an upgrade for what we did with Keon Coleman, and he is an actual true outside receiver. I have questions about Omar Cooper and KC Concepcion in terms of their ability to play the outside, to play a full Z, that full outside Z role. I don't have that question with Denzel. Denzel could potentially develop into an X. And so I don't mind them if they would have choose Denzel Boston at 26. However, I will say this: I will be pissed off. We take Chris Bell at 26. I'll be furious. That will piss me off because even though incredible athlete, incredible physical intangibles, that's developmental. He's a developmental receiver that you're going to have to rely on your coaching staff that you can get him to what you think he can be. I'm tired of that. Can I get an impact player from day one? Can I get someone that right off the gate could help immediately improve my team instead of hoping and praying that he can develop to being something that we think he's not? I'm sick and tired of doing all that type of stuff. I have way more questions than answers when watching Chris Bell because, again, a lot of his routes were freed up routes. He wasn't winning on the outside. He wasn't gaining a lot of separation. He didn't have a huge extensive route tree. His biggest routes that he ran were on mesh concepts when he was freed up. Again, after the catch, he's got great speed and great strength, and I know all that. I don't care about that. We need technical ability. We need guys with spatial awareness, great zone spatial awareness, guys that can get a separation in man and match coverage. We need those type of cats that can perform great synergy with Josh Allen. And so I don't mind them taking it. I just don't know if Buffalo is going to pull the trigger because of DJ Moore. They made such a huge investment in DJ Moore, and looking at all the areas that this team has, they need depth, and they need it really, really badly, including in some particular starting spots. And I don't know if Buffalo is willing to double dip by taking essentially 2 straight receivers with that first and second round pick.
Tommy, takes?
Boy, yeah. I'll tell you what. Here's my problem with the whole trading back thing, which is probably the right move. Let's be real, right? And I get what Jarek's saying about And a lot of people are saying that if you pick you take a pick at 26, you got a while to wait, right? Unless you find a way to back up in round 2. But here's the problem: this draft is not the sexiest draft in the world, and a lot of people or a lot of teams, after I would say that 20th spot, are looking to trade down. It's not just Buffalo. You got to have a trade partner. And I don't know if there necessarily will be one where a team's going to go, man, I got to get up in the 26th spot to get this player. The only team I could see potentially seeing trading up, or at that spot would maybe be the Cardinals if they're trying to get the quarterback Ty Simpson, I believe his name is, out of Alabama, to jump the Jets. Outside of that, but who's to say they don't jump at the 25th spot or 24? I got to see the draft order, but it's easier said than done when we talk about trading down or up in this scenario. So for me, I think the most likely thing to happen is a couple options. One, we stay put because we just can't trade back. Or two, being is super aggressive, understanding that we don't have a second, and is willing to trade up and get a premier kind of player in the top 15 because you're not getting a second round. So at least making the draft count more by getting a top 15 type of player. I could potentially see that. Or trading that pick for a player is also a possibility that the Bills could do. But I have a gut feeling, Mikey, the Bills will probably just pick at 26. And if I had my choice, it would be a defensive tackle. You already know how I feel. I think McDonald would be the best option. He immediately fills a position that we've been needing and wanting and complaining about over the last 3-4 years here in Buffalo. I understand people like Mikey and maybe Jarek saying he's a 2 down, only going to be on the field 2 down, blah, blah, blah. But look, we are towards the last in the league in pretty much every category against the run. We're terrible. And if you got a guy like that and we can get teams going on 3rd and long, he did his job. I'm happy. Bills Mafia is happy. And that's the kind of player I want. A nose tackle, true nose tackle, or at least give me a 1-tech. But McDonald's my guy. That's the guy I think will be there. And I don't think he goes to the second round. So for me, that's my choice. But I would honestly, though, love to see if Bean would trade up and be super aggressive and grab an actual premier type player that can, get on this team, instantly make make a splash, right? That's what we need. That's what we've been missing. That's what I think, Mikey, that's what all of Bills Mafia has been wanting in these drafts, right? Like, where's our splash player? Where's this guy that's been elite out of the draft since Josh Allen, right? And James Cook. I guess we can call James Cook that guy now. But a lot of Bills Mafia is what? Their complaint is we've gotten good players, but we haven't got impactful players from the draft. And that, to me, too, is because we draft towards the end of each round. It's very difficult sometimes to grab a premier player when I'm not saying it's impossible, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. So for me, man, like I said, we're either pick a 26 or being super aggressive, trades up or trades for a player.
Okay. And I'll counter your need a trade partner.
Sure.
Say the Giants take Styles at 5 and Downs at 10. They still need a D tackle. They still need a wide receiver. Why wouldn't they come back up?
See, I think you're wrong. I think they take Styles first, and I think they take.
I'm just going off of what someone said earlier.
No, I get it, but I'm hearing a lot of rumbling that the Giants are interested in Tyson. So I'm thinking Styles, then Tyson is their pick.
I don't think Tyson's gonna be there at 10.
May not be, but I'm hearing. And by the way, he's getting a lot of visits, and a lot of teams are interested right now in him. But I'm just throwing that out there that the Giants are one of those teams that are very interested in Tyson.
Say they take Styles at 5. Tyson goes at 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then at 10, they take non-wide receiver. Because say Tyson goes 8, say Tate goes 9. So now now they take Downs or whoever. They still need a wide receiver. They still need a D tackle because they traded their D tackle to get the 10th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they come up?
You're saying trade down for them to trade their second round? Yeah, they could, Mikey, but
same with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have multiple picks. They could come back up into the first round.
They could, but this is where it gets interesting. Once again, is it worth that? Because I feel a lot of these players that we're talking late first round after 20 spots, some of these are players that in another draft would go round 2. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they're reaching up to get a guy when they feel like, for instance, there's a story out there, not even a story, but they're talking about the Patriots and Eagles making the trade still for Brown, but after the draft, because the Patriots, or I'm sorry, the Eagles would want draft picks from next year, not this year. Right? That's how much they value. They don't value this draft. So they would do a trade that would include draft picks for the 2027. So and plus I think they save money on the contract after the draft on AJ Brown.
They can't do it until after June 1.
Right, but it would be correct, but it would be half. But my point is they're doing that also because of the draft. It's not, they don't really want picks here. So like, I just don't think this, I just don't see it happening. I really don't see many, teams trying to trade up into the first round late.
So then let me ask you a question. Here's another position that not a lot of people are talking about, and Bills fans will crash out, but it actually would make a lot more sense because it does complete the side of the ball. What if they take a guard?
Oh boy.
Give me the big
They're going to crash out
for the future. I'm with you.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're going to crash. They're going to crash out, but, and of course we got post podium. He's all line play, but they need an Edwards successor. A lot of people will say Anderson. These are backups. I'm sorry. These are backups, and we can evaluate and we can go through it all day. If they believed in Anderson so much, they would have paid him. Because if he does end up having a good, let's say we don't win the Super Bowl and he actually ends up having a good season, what are you going to do? Because you're not paying both Torrance and Anderson. You're going to have to choose one or the other, and most likely you might not even get to pay both of them because we're going to be so goddamn cap tied that you may not even have to pay both of them if they're good. So what if Chase Pasantis, who is a direct Edwards clone in terms of his ability to play heavily in zone and zone heavy run fits, where it's again a lot of reach blocking, a lot of scoop seal blocking, right? His ability to get to the second level if you need him in power situations to drive, to peel, you can use him in pin and pull situations. But overall wise, just in terms of our offensive line, basically what we did with Cromer, it's a movement based offensive line. We like to move our guards around. Torrance isn't a mover; he's a mauler. He's a guy that stands his dirt and he anchors. We don't have that. Right opposite was, again, we use Edwards on a lot of movement base from our different pass sets. So if you end up finding that replicant at 26 in Chase Pasantis, and it actually may be better because Edwards wasn't physical. He is a physical mauler. We would have, in my personal opinion, based off what I've seen, because I think Pasantis and Ione, I don't think there's a huge drop off. I really don't. I think that's a lot closer than what people expect. I think Ione is a little bit more of a better technician in terms of his hand usage, but in terms of the more athletic freak that actually does fit the philosophy of a Cromer, not to mention too, his offensive line coach at A&M is a disciple of Aaron Cromer. So that's one of those situations. Bills fans will be pissed, but at the same time, though, you get Chase Pasantis at 26.
What happens if you take Pasantis 26 and then you trade Torrance for a second?
Oh, that would be terrible. I mean, an awful move.
I wouldn't.
They're not going to pay him.
Yeah, they're not going to pay him.
I believe they will. But I would not.
He's going to want 20. He's going to want $20 million.
I think they're going to wind up paying. Listen, the thing is, the way Bean has been, Mikey, with these players, he's only really letting one walk. That was a high-profile kind of player. That was Tremaine Edmonds, and it was really a decision that came down to who are we going to pay. we're going to pay Milano or Edmonds, right? And it turned out to be Milano who got paid, and a little bit cheaper than Edmonds, but ultimately Bean has paid his draft picks. I mean, every single one, pretty much that's been, that's had a good career here since drafted. He's paid. So I just don't. I'm not saying for sure 100%. I don't know that, but I think he would definitely be trying to keep Osiris Torrance here. That's a great pick for Brandon Bean to listen. That's one of Bean's better draft picks, right? When we go down the list of draft picks,
we couldn't pay Edmonds though. We couldn't pay Edmonds, not because
but we wanted because we were paying Milano, but because we had a decision at that time,
which is my point. Which is why I believe, again, I think they're going to get a guard regardless. I think they're going to get one. The question is, are you going to take one in day 1, day 2, or day 3? And you can. Who's the veteran guard that we just? I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. They're both.
Yes. So he's a guy that I want to be totally sold on Anderson starting there. So
it could be, but I'm not giving him that job. He's fighting for it. I'm not.
There will be a battle for sure. Right. I'm just saying that guy is a little bit more proven than Anderson. Started a little bit longer in the league, so. I would probably give him the notch, but we'll see what happens in camp. But I don't think they're going to draft a guard. I haven't heard anything about it. Like, now I could be wrong, Jarek. I could be, and it's not a terrible. They're going to have to address it at some point.
You don't want to play with Josh. You don't want to play with Josh Allen, and this is one of those situations. First of all, if they went to Josh Allen and they said, "Hey, we don't we don't," because I think Casey's going to go higher than expected anyway. I think he's going to go in the teens.
I think Allen's on the board for us.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, Josh, would you mind if we take a guard? Here's prove it. Josh, he's not saying no because he's not saying no to any protection. This is my opinion. I think Josh approving Connor McGovern, I think screwed up their draft philosophy, is going to screw up their draft philosophy because they wanted Cedric Van Pran to start at center. They wanted to resign Edwards and wanted to sign Cedric Van Pran. Josh is the one that said, no, I want Connor McGovern because I need my guy that could give me the right signals. I need to make the right checks. That's my main communicator. I can't let that dude walk out. Brandon Bean approved of it. He says, all right, this is all you. We're going to sign McGovern. They couldn't sign both. There's no way. So
and it's why I don't think they're going to be able to sign Torrance. You already paying 3 of those linemen at really high market value. You're going to pay 4. That where are you gonna take the shortcut? Defense? What do you think got McDermott fired? It was his defense.
I we'll see when the time comes, guys. I disagree. I think they will find a way to keep Torrance here. I do. I cannot see him letting a guy out, a top player or a player that he drafted that is, a guy that still hasn't reached the ceiling, in my opinion, letting a dude like that walk. And offensive line is super tough to get. You guys know this. When you got your line set, you got to keep them. I'm just saying, I don't see it. I see Bean finding a way to keep Torrance in house. I really do. And we'll find out when that time comes. I don't think it's a for sure thing that Torrance is leaving or can't get an extension.
That's one of those situations where I agree with Mikey. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets traded because he's on the last year of his deal. Now, of course, it could happen, right? It could very well happen. Or his agent is Jalen Hurts' agent. She's a shark. She's someone that does not play. Nicole Anlin does not play about her agents in terms of them getting their contracts. Now, of course, he could take the Connor McGovern route and just say, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit less money. The only difference is McGovern's gotten paid before and Torrance hasn't. Torrance is playing he's playing a lot cheaper than compared to what his value actually screams. And his value is on the same trajectory as a Banks with the Packers. And he got $18 million. Like the guard position is starting to become a premium position on the offensive line to a point where if we pay Torrance, I think if we pay Torrance, let's just say $15-16 million today, that would be nothing compared to if he can get it next year. But to your credit, Tommy, We have literally, I mean, we have legit underpaid. Like Christian Benford got a steal. I thought Khalil Shakir was underpaid. Like we have found a way to get those contracts done. So we'll see what happens.
McGovern was underpaid.
Right. He was 13. He was 13.
Let's be real.
I thought he was going to get 16, 17
Hell,
million.
Yeah.
Brown's underpaid. Spencer
Brown
Brown
is underpaid.
underpaid.
Spencer Brown. Yeah.
You know,
And if you
the
think
only
about
one
it
that's
too, like
actually making market is Dion.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know what, too, guys? Like, for me, once again, though, like, when they're going to go look at this, like, you know, the Bean's going to look at one, I drafted this guy, which is very important to Bean. I mean, Bean said that, right? He's always said that. If I draft you and you show your worth, I'm going to try everything I can to pay you, right? He said that. He came out and said that. He's done that for the most part. That's one. Two, Torrance is still young. Like, it's not like we're talking about, you know, he's been here 7 years, 8 years, you know, his age, he's hurt a lot. You know, there's an injury history going on with him. That dude is always on the field. So for me, he's going to check, you know, he checks all the boxes on, let's try to make this deal happen. I just don't see it so simple as, oh, we just don't have it, or it's just too much out of our control. We're going to let him walk. He's going to do everything in his power to. I just don't see him trading him. I think he's going to try everything he can. And by the way, we've seen Bean do extensions in the middle of a season out of nowhere. So don't be shocked if like a deal gets done. You know, some point they wind up, you know, finding a way to clear up some cash and give him an extension earlier rather than get hit free agency.
Yeah, as Key says here, we've been getting by with people taking team-friendly deals.
Sure.
The one person who said no was
no,
Tremaine.
I agree.
Some of the
wanted that.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did. His name was Tremaine Edmonds, and he's no longer here. He wanted that $18 million a year.
Not every player has done a team-friendly deal. Let's be real. Stephon Diggs got paid. It's not like it was team-friendly. James Cook got paid. It wasn't team-friendly. That was about what he wanted. He
wanted 20.
But he wanted. Yeah, that's when he was being crazy. 15 is what he initially.
It was
what
20, then it went to 15, and we got him for what? 12?
12.
No,
13. Was it
13. Yeah, it was 13. It was a little bit more than what's his name that got the deal prior to him.
13 AAV, and if he would have been in the market today, he probably would have got 20 plus.
Yeah, now of course because of his season. But Mike, I'm just saying that wasn't like a totally steal. Like we didn't rip James Cook off. You know what I mean? Like
a team-friendly deal doesn't have to be a rip-off. Team-friendly deal.
No, but I'm just saying that wasn't super team. I don't consider that super team.
It was under the market.
I guess, you know, I mean, but I don't think every deal, and by the way, every GM isn't going just, hey, what do you want? I gotcha. Like they're all trying to get the best deals. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it works, guys. Come on now.
You just can't pay everybody, and paying.
I get it, but that's such an important position, Mikey. Offensive line. You break that up. You break that core up of guys. That, by the way, everybody except for the guard position, and this is why I agree with Jarek. We got to eventually draft a guard here who's here long term. So that line, now you're looking at, let's say we draft a guard. You're looking at a rookie guard. You're looking at a McGovern who still has time, right? He's still kind of young. You're looking at Osiris Torrance who's young, and Spencer Brown who's sort of young, right? So like you got guys that are going to be playing together for a while, right? You start shifting the lineup again. Bro, it could go bad. It could go, you know, south real quick. So for me, we need to get this line going, have the same line for at least 3 years, right? That's what I would want. And I think that's what, you know, every team wants. Look at the Eagles for a while, right? That was the same line for a long time. That's why they got good, right? They got used to playing with each other.
Now that offensive line's broken because they couldn't pay everybody. They paid.
That's right. Well, and then Kelsey retired, and I get it. And look what happens though. And then your line's not the same. The tush push not the same. And no, man, like the one thing that's what Buffalo's done really well, Mikey, and you can agree, and I think Jared can, is the offensive line has gotten way better over the course of the last 3 seasons. It's improved every year, pretty much. In the beginning with Dable and them, our offensive line wasn't that great. A lot of musical chairs at the guard spot, right? It just wasn't good. Our run blocking was terrible. Pass protection was okay.
Josh made them look better than they were.
Exactly. And now it's coming together. I mean, look at our run game. It's night and day, right? Night and day because of that offensive line. So for me, I just would not mess with something like that. He figure a way to pay him, and I think he will. That's where I think.
And Kelly to Allen, I'm not saying don't pay the line. We've paid 3 of our 5 already.
Yeah.
So it's not like if we let Torrance go, it's not like we haven't paid for offensive line and we're just going dirt cheap. You know, you just can't pay everyone. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I would rather see us move Torrance this year and get a second round pick or whatever for him than let him walk in free agency for nothing.
Yep, because guess what spot opens up that Brandon Beane, he wants this player to play. It's Van Pran. Now Van Pran's back in the competition. Now Van Pran's back in the fold for a competition to get a spot. He can play guard.
Yeah, but to your point, like Beane's not an idiot, and if he feels like he can't, there's no opportunity to bring back Torrance, I would assume that you'd be right. He would trade or be looking to push Osiris Torrance out. But if that doesn't happen, then, I mean, for me, it just tells me everything I need to know that they're trying to get a deal done. So,
okay.
And I get you can't pay everybody, but
my whole thing was, would it surprise you if we took a guard at 26 and then we traded Torrance on day 2 for a second round pick?
It would surprise me because you don't know if that guard's going to be. You have no idea what a player is going to be when they get into the NFL. You don't know. Like, I mean, look. Perfect example is Mike Williams. We all thought Mike Williams was going to be that guy when we drafted him years ago, right? Mike Williams never turned out to be that guy. So they can look great in college, and sometimes they just do not take their, ability in the NFL. Like, it just doesn't happen. So I'm not risking that going into a very important, year, right? Why would you risk that? I'm not risking that. That could go south real quick, Mikey. I'm not playing that game. We're in a tight window here. Right, a Super Bowl window. Let's be real. And now you want to shuffle around the line, trade players that are great at their position or nearly great at their position. I'm not doing that. No way.
If they don't have him in their long-term plans, you get something for your asset. You don't let walk.
I agree with that. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Yep.
Is it at the cost of making you? I'll say it. If it's at the cost of, if it's at the, something's got to get sacrificed because I'm sorry. We have limited draft capital. We don't pick again until pick 91. These are everyone says that this draft class isn't great. I disagree. I think it's a very underrated draft class. I just think that the first round is not as heavy. But then we start to go into day 2. Now there's a lot of underrated gems, players that's going to fall. We have limited draft capital, we have limited depth, and if I have to sacrifice something important in order for me to get something beneficial, and of course you never know because these are rookies. You don't know. I mean, if you don't hit on any of these players, I mean, there's a chance that you don't hit on any of these players.
Yeah,
however,
absolutely.
There's a chance you may be the Rams, and everyone wants to compare Brandon Beane to Snead. Brandon Beane has been better at drafting than Snead if we compare the last 7 years. He's been better and hasn't even been close. Here's the problem. Les Snead has hit on 2 draft classes. The one draft class when they got Byron Young and they got Colby Turner and they got and then the following year was Jared Verse and Brandon and Fisk. That's the problem. They hit on blue chip players that are starting to this day on rookie contracts. Right. So it's like you got to pick your poison.
Well, let me ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this, Jarek. Is it that Brandon Beane hasn't hit, or was it our scheme didn't allow those picks to hit?
You make an argument the scheme. You can make an argument the scheme didn't allow to hit, and we're gonna find out this year with Dwayne Carter and TJ Sanders. We're gonna find out in terms of what these two players offer.
We're gonna find out what Groot actually is this year.
He's an outside. Yeah, I know they're gonna make him basically another version of Bradley Chubb.
Solomon got moved. I don't know if you heard that. Solomon got moved to outside linebacker too.
Which is
that's his natural position. That's actually where he should be playing.
Yeah.
I never understood that pick in the first place. He was ideal. Solomon is this year's Tucker. Out of the outside linebacker who's going to go in this day 3. That is just a demon off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Solomon was coming out. And then we tried to bulk him up and make him a DN because McDermott likes to take guys and play him out of position. We did it with Epinesa. Epinesa coming out of college would have been ideal for this 3-4 as one of the 4-eye guys.
As end. Yep.
You know,
Who, by the way, Mikey, may
280.
come back. Who may come back on
If
a
he
super
puts
cheap deal.
if he puts that weight back on, I'll have him back in a heartbeat. I don't want him as an outside backer. That's just not his game.
Yeah, no, I'm just throwing that out there that there's been also that I've heard rumblings that he also could be back. It's everything right now is after the draft, like that I'm hearing, right? Like Trey, I heard Trey's name get brought up today. Epinesa's name got brought up
in this new system. Trey is not a man cover corner.
I agree. I would not want Trey back. I want to hate Epinesa back though on a cheap deal, 1 year cheap, $2 million, 2.5, because he's not going to get 5. It seems like teams, for whatever reason, after the Browns cut him, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of takers, man. I mean, there wasn't to begin with, but now especially, I know he had to work. He went over. He had a meeting with the Dolphins, and apparently that didn't go well. So, very curious what that would cost to bring back Epinesa. I wouldn't hate it for 1 year. Trey, I don't think he'll work. So I wouldn't get it. I really want to understand it.
I'm not sure why you think Dawkins is going to be off the books. Dawkins doesn't retire a Buffalo Bill, guys. I hate to burst your bubble.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
It's just that the question for Dawkins is eventually is he going as tackles get older, they move to guard. I think Dawkins would be a disgusting guard. He would be disgusting if you move him into the inside.
I thought that's where he should have started.
Yep.
And then he just played so well because originally when we drafted him as a guard.
Correct.
And then he had to go play right tackle,
yeah.
And then Cordy Glenn got hurt, so we kicked him to left tackle, and then he's been there ever since.
Yeah,
like he was actually drafted to be a guard.
Yep, especially how he is now, and how he's developed. I think Dawkins will be an All-Pro guard if we slid him to the inside. The older he gets, and then I love Chase Lunt. I'm a big fan of Chase Lunt. I mean, I think he has some of the best kick steps I think I've seen on this team. Extremely quick, technical player. He just doesn't have a great anchor, but he's a natural left tackle. I'm a huge fan.
I think the length, right?
You got Grable.
Isn't he lacking length?
Yeah, he doesn't have the length, but he makes up for it with his footwork. You watch his feet; he keeps up with anybody. His feet are always he's always squared. I mean, he's rarely out of position on his pass sets. That's why I love that. I love that kid. I think that kid's going to be a starter.
We still got Grable, right? I mean, I know that a lot of talk about him too, potentially going there in the future. So it's possible. I mean, would Dion want to do that this late in his career? I mean, it's a possibility. But I think you're right, Mikey. I think Dion retires at Buffalo, and it seems to me like Dion's already setting himself up for the podcast game or social media game, right? You see him getting out a little bit more, so I could definitely see that dude retiring a little bit early, not lasting, 20 years in the NFL, just getting out and do the social media thing. It seems like that's where he's venturing to. So I don't think he'll be too much longer a Buffalo Bill before he retires.
Yeah, Tori comes in and says, I'd take Bosa back before I take Epinesa back.
Oh no, I don't want Bosa. And I think Bosa is going to wind up either retiring or playing for the 49ers, like one year with his brother, and that's it. I just didn't. He Bosa started off great, and he showed his age down the stretch. He really did, Mikey. So I'm not trying to get him back. Unless you're just going to use him strictly for the playoff, which we thought last year and we didn't. You know what I mean? He actually played a lot of snaps. So
he had to because everyone got hurt.
No, I get it, but I'm just on a cheap. I think Epinesa would probably be cheaper too. So
And Kelly, they haven't pulled the Dawkins restructure yet. It's a lever they can still pull at any time.
Yep, it's like it's in his back pocket.
Yep. Because what happens? We get to draft day, and all of a sudden the Raiders are like, see someone on the board that they really want, and they're like, maybe we'll give up Crosby for less than 2 1s. We need to be able to pull that lever.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you never know. Absolutely, Mikey. And that's why I said I wouldn't take that off the table either for a potential trade for a player in the draft, right? Like, if you're going to make a weak draft, class work, like, weak draft year or whatever, hell, if you don't see anybody there that you're crazy about and you can get an instant playmaker for that 26th pick, make the move. Make the move. I know we talked about Marvin Harrison Jr. We talked about Brian Thomas Jr. Those will be all smart trades. I would have no problem getting rid of our 26 for one of those players. You know, and let's say Crosby, let's say Bean for whatever reason, like, you know what? Let me call the Raiders just one more time on draft day. Let's see how they're feeling right now. Hey, you never know. And I don't think anybody would complain. Because I don't think anyone's super sold on this draft, at least the players, especially where we're picking at the moment.
That's why I want to get second round picks. I want to see if we can get some picks back and for the second or the third round.
I'm with you, and I want to hate it, Jared. I just don't know if that's going to work. Huh?
I was listening to Rich Eisen earlier, and they had a few of the draft ones on. They say people keep saying this isn't a good draft, but you're seeing all kinds of moves.
It's a good depth draft, I would say, Mikey. I think there's, you know what it is.
They don't have that high end. They don't have the Jamar Chases. They don't have the Bosa's. They don't have the Garretts. They don't have the Crosbys. They don't have those high end
quarterbacks.
Talents that are coming.
The premier positions are very thin. Mikey,
but they don't.
Very thin.
They don't even have the Harrisons or the BTJs or the Neighbors. They don't even have that. Like Tate's good, but Tate would have been like wide receiver 7 in that draft.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you.
Also, I'd be interested to see what Tate looks like without having Jeremiah Smith on the other side of him.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting draft. There's no doubt about it, Mikey. Because you know what they're saying too, and I'm hearing a lot. There's going to be a ton of trades. Might be the most trades in quite some time in a draft. So very curious, how many trades get done during this draft, and we'll be live at least I'll be live 2 nights, and Mikey as well. But
I'll be there. Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Saturday, but Thursday and Friday for sure.
Yeah, I hear you.
Washed. I would not be surprised to see Vaughn sign a cheap veteran minimum to be a designated pass rusher for us. He had 8 sacks last year.
Now, see, I would like that over what's his name?
Vanessa
over
or Bosa. I'd like that over Vanessa or Bosa.
Oh, absolutely. I would too. I mean, I'm with you.
Yep. Speaking of edge rushers, Jericho, let's go back to 26. That's the one position we haven't talked about yet. Edges. My favorite is Malachi Lawrence.
I'm with you. I've been on the Malachi Lawrence. I've been on the Malachi Lawrence when people had him as a 5th round pick, and I'm just like,
as a day 3 pick. Me too. I took him every time in the 4th round. Thank you. I'll take him very much from right there. Yeah, I never thought he would get there, but now they're talking about him going in the back end of round 1.
Yeah.
Wow. That means he showed out and
you watch
in his pro day or something. Yeah.
He never had tape that said day 3 ever.
Yeah, that was his junior season. His junior season, I'm watching this. I'm like, bro, this is a top 50 player. I don't see why NFL draft buzz, which we got to stop relying on draft buzz, bro. They just. But it's just one of those instances where it's like, he's a good player, man. Like Malachi Lawrence, I watched him like, bro, this is a top 50 player. Of course, he's not as polished as what you would kind of give him credit for, but this, he is in that Derek Moore, Gabe. Yeah, I think he's better than Gabe Yakas, but in that Gabe Yakas, that sort of discussion, Cassius Howell, TJ Parker, he is definitely in that discussion. And he just may have the highest upside probably out of all the players just because you really like it. You love his pass rush versatility. You love his pass rush plan, his pass rush engagement, what he does with his hand usage, his ability to, again, I don't think he's a pure power rusher, but he's got that extensive arm length in order for him to use a long arm and still be effective and combine that with the dip. He's a ghost rusher, very similar to Ruben Bain and Mesidor. He can also utilize a ghost. He can also utilize a ghost rush. He has a nasty 2-end swipe, nasty inside spin move counter. How he just kind of fakes hezzies and then he fake hezzies and then it's like what DeMarcus Ware kind of does. DeMarcus Ware, Dwight Freeney does with their spin move. How he'll kind of do like a fake hezzy to the outside, kind of set you up, and then he'll just spin to the it's just nasty. I can't really describe it, but no, Malachi Lawrence is nasty. He's a really good pass rusher. Now, of course, there's some things he needs to improve on, needs to get better at. that he's definitely going to be raw at. He's not a great run stopper, and that's probably why he's not in this discussion. Because if you want him to set the edge, if you want him to play discipline within his rush lanes, he's not really the best at it. He's a pure, I got to get after the quarterback sort of guy. But no, I mean, Malachi Lawrence is definitely going to be in that discussion for sure.
I mean, that's kind of what we're looking for right now, right? Because we have the compression power style. Now we want the quick twitch, because people talked about, Hal and R. Mason Thomas and those quick twitch type of guys. But I mean, if we're going to take one, I'd much rather take Lawrence. He has a better skill set than those other two, I believe. Is one of those two a better fit for you?
No. And the only reason why I probably would say no is because I feel like you can get a rotational edge in day 2, I feel like you can get a rotational edge in day 2.
Day 3.
Day 3.
You want a rotational edge? Go get Curry out of Ohio State. He could be a designated pass rusher. Yeah. As a designated pass rusher.
Yep. I would say, again, Ndame Tucker, he's old, but Ndame Tucker is a very underrated prospect. Kayshawn James Newby, I don't know why people aren't talking about this kid. This kid has some of the nastiest bet I've ever seen since.
I don't know Kayshawn James.
From
That's a name I haven't heard.
He from New Mexico State. He's New Mexico. Yep. A little undersized, like 250 pounds, but he's a 3-4 edge. And he's a 3-4 edge. And I'm telling you, this dude's athletic ability, his ability to bend off the corner, to flatten the corner when he's bending is nasty. It's Will McDonald level. He's just nowhere near as refined, not as strong, but he's quick, extremely quick off the snap. Quintavious Hutchins, no. Buffalo, they just brought in George Gumps. They love George Gumps because of his 10-yard split. He's more of a run defender, but he can kind of play on the outside. There's players you can get. Even a Mason Reiger, who I think has a lot of potential for Wisconsin. I think he could be a guy that you can fit in. But in the first round, I wouldn't be upset about it. I wouldn't be, because I would understand it. But you're taking your rotational edge player that's pretty much going to be playing maybe 35. Maybe that's probably going to be playing 30-35% of your snaps. But if he can contribute, he can contribute. And I just want impact players.
Yeah, I'm trying.
What's our Mikey? Pull up our or go over the super chat. Right, give it the super chat real quick. If there is,
I'm trying to find the train horn.
It's under media, on the bottom on the audio. It's on the right, the first one to the right. It'll where the sounds are under audio, all the way on the bottom.
Oh, all the way on the bottom. So I have sounds. I have boo,
and then
large,
audio,
laugh, applause.
Nope. Go to lower, a little bit lower.
Oh.
There it is.
Found it.
Oh, you got 2.5 for that super chat.
Yep, I appreciate that. Jarek, what's your opinion on Barham? Reminds me of Hunt from Philly off the edge.
Oh yeah, I think I think Hunt's a little bit bigger than what he was. He reminds me of Caden Ellis. How I wanted Caden Ellis for the Atlanta Falcons, just as pretty much playing as a designated joker role. How you can utilize him as a hybrid off ball edge rusher that can cause pure chaos. That's Caden Ellis with the Atlanta Falcons, right? Another perfect example was Michael Hoyt. Now, Michael Hoyt he's a natural defensive lineman. He's a natural defensive lineman that's a power rusher. But Michael Hoyt was good enough to a point where he can play as an off-ball. He can play as an off-ball inside linebacker, line him up 2-point stance, the interior as a defensive tackle. You can line him up everywhere. That's Jay Sean. Jay Sean doesn't have a premium position. He came from Maryland. They tried him out as a weak side linebacker, was solid, but he's like Dorian Williams, right? He's not very instinctual. He doesn't really process in the run game well, but if he sees it and he attacks it, he's a case in point. He's a Wolverine. He's a monster whenever he sees and attacks it. His speed and flow is nasty. But what he did at Michigan, they just said, okay, we're going to play you at both particular spots. You're going to have 40% of the edge snaps, 40% of the off-ball snaps. Just go out there and play. Like, they didn't really give him a lot of responsibility, something I wish McDermott would do with Dorian Williams a lot, and he didn't do that until the second half of the season. But they just said, just go after it. And he did. And he's raw as hell as a pass rusher, but there's a reason why he had 8 sacks. He had 8 sacks because he used the dip, because he simply just used a shoulder dip. And he beat you with pure ferocity. You know, he was tenacious going against certain tackles. You know, his ability to kind of set the edge, his ability to kind of scrape and feel. Terrific sideline to sideline ability. He's just not a great processor, right? Caden Ellis, how Atlanta used him, and again, ask Josh Allen about him because Caden caused hell, especially to David Edwards, was that he just confused people with just his alignment. There were times where he would line up as an off-ball linebacker. You don't know if he was going to drop into coverage, but he would perfect the pre-snap so much that he would just perfect the timing of the snap, and that he would just all of a sudden get to the quarterback and just cause havoc for Josh. That's Jay-Sean. Jay-Sean, you can line him up at different spots, and you don't know where you can play him at. Now, again, he doesn't do anything spectacular, right? He's not great in coverage. He's not, you're not going to use him to match. You're not going to use him in any trailing situations or anything like that. But he's just strictly you get in there. He's a football player. That's just he's a chess piece. That's pretty much what he is. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah,
Mikey,
Hoyt, as Trek says here, Hoyt's a lot like Zoe.
Yep.
Mikey, so speaking of Hoyt, I know you said you watched Brandon Beane today, right? On the interviews, on the presser, and you said you watched Allen, right? So I know he brung up Hoyt. Seems like Hoyt's still going through the process of trying to get back.
But
Didn't seem like it's
a brace.
Sorry?
He's doing it without a brace.
Right. So we'll see what happens with him. But I think it sounds like he'll be ready for week 1.
He's just not going to be what he was. It's, year 1 coming off of Achilles, that you're never that quick twitch type of guy, but he has the power. So he'll still be productive. We won't have the best version of him this year. Right.
That's what I think. Was there anything in these pressers today that stood out that that he said that you want to touch on or anything, or no? Nothing really stood out.
It was the standard stuff, It
Okay.
was, Josh talked about being a dad and his why changed. The winning hasn't. The reason to win has. They talked about his foot and the general stuff. But it was off-season presser speak is what it was.
I like that he joked around about the gas mask.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
If someone wants to put that out there, use AI to help us out, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Someone asked about Mesidor at 26. This might just be me take. I don't want Mesidor. Here's the reason why I don't want Mesidor. Same reason why I didn't want Boogie Basham. I think he's hit his ceiling.
I don't think so, Mikey. I think the opposite. I think the opposite. I think he's not quite there. The only, and I'll let Jared go after, but I think the only knock on him is his age. But I think he's gotten better, during his course in college, especially his last year in Miami.
Younger guys?
I don't give a fuck what he went against. Younger, older, don't matter. For me, I still think the guy can play at a high level in the NFL. But for how long, I guess, is the question, right? But for me, I don't care. If you draft a guy and he can give you 4-5 quality seasons and really quality where he helps you get a Super Bowl, then yeah, we'll worry about that, his age, when we go to give him an extension if we want at that point. But I see, listen, if he fell there, I would absolutely draft him. I still would be on board with McDonald over him because I'm that sold on McDonald. But if they went Mesidor, I wouldn't hate it. Go ahead, Jarek. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. The reason why I don't think Mesidor has hit his ceiling because he's only played 3 years at edge. Every other year he had, he played defensive tackle when he was at West Virginia. He came in at 310 pounds. And every year that he's played college, including his freshman year, he's had 4.5 sacks every single year, except for the time he tore his ACL, I believe, last season when he played Ruben Bain. But his first year with Ruben Bain he had 6.5 sacks with Ruben Bain in his when Ruben Bain was a freshman. It was this year where he started to work with the same trainer that Sonny Styles is working with, that Averill Reese is working with, Ruben Bain's trainer. He was working with him, and he improved. He greatly improved his pass rush arsenal.
He did.
He greatly improved his pass rush arsenal because for the most part he was more considered a power rusher. The problem though is that he doesn't have long arms. Right, he has 31-inch arms. And so when you move him onto the inside, and you can and he can utilize that explosiveness, that quickness towards advantage in terms of getting those arms in there first before any of the linemen can extend their arms. He utilized that towards his advantage. I mean, you watch a lot of his clips when he is using like a push pull or a bull rush, he's beating the guard to the spot first. But what he's gotten so used to over the last 3 years, he's a finesse player now. He's a little bit more turned into a finesse player. It's just that, just similar to Grayson Holland, he has a stronger leg drive. He's a stronger base. A lot of people will say that he's not. I don't think he's not a power rusher, and so people will kill him for it because it's like, how are you 280 pounds and you're not playing with a lot more power? Well, because he was coached into playing more as a finesse style. Because when he's off the edge, he is so like, he's not a bull rusher. He's beating you with the ghost, very similar to how Ruben Bain does it. Ruben Bain's not a power rusher either. He's a speed rusher or a ghost rusher. And so I just think, based off of the training that he got from this offseason the last 3 years and from how Miami was incorporating their training, I think that dude's getting better. And again, he's 25 years of age, and people would take that into consideration. But the fact that he's played defensive tackle all of his life, and then he moved inside of Miami for the first time 3 years ago, and he's gotten that good to get to a point that to me, that's impressive. Because I think besides Ruben Bain, and I would arguably say Cassius Howell, I don't see it. Well, no, I'll put Malachi Lawrence. I'm going to put Malachi Lawrence in that same tier. I don't think that there's any advanced pass rushers that have that pass rush arsenal.
Okay. Maybe I said PTSD from the Basham.
Boogie.
Because I didn't want Boogie at that pick, but I liked Boogie coming out. I just didn't think he fit our scheme. And
that's a good point, though. Is Mesidor a scheme fit? That is a question. Is he a specific scheme set? And again, if we're going to be running a lot more, if it was McDermott, ironically enough, this is McDermott. I don't have a problem if you take Mesidor. If it was
McDermott, he's ideal.
Right.
McDermott
he's ideal.
Pick.
I don't know if he's going to completely fit, because it's going to be such a weird defense that we're going to. It's just weird. It's more hybrid. It's similar to how McDermott kind of ran it the first half, like that first 2-3 games with Michael Hoyt. Like, look how wide they were playing Rousseau, and look how wide they were using. Like, Solomon was playing as an inside backer, for God's sakes, and he just looked so uncomfortable. It's just like, these players are not used to kind of running that. Now it can be effective because you had players that were used to running it like a Michael Hoyt. That's why he was so crucial, because he called the pass rush sets. He made sure to get players in the right spots. And when you lost that commander in chief, they had to go back to McDermott's regular defense, which was that crazy ass 4-3 over. But now we're going to that full time, and it's like, is Mesidor that kind of player when he's not used to running that Miami? So that's kind of a good point.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Mike.
I mean, that was my biggest thing. Like, and can we afford to take the gamble for a non-scheme fit?
Right.
Yeah, true. Yep.
CJ Daniels might be a sleeper. He made Carson Beck look super good. All right. I'm not overly fond of Daniels, but some people like him. See, that's the thing about this draft. It's all the beauties in the eye of the beholder of this draft.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Daniels
such a wide range.
Yeah.
You love every Miami Hurricane, Tommy.
Yeah.
I will never take advice for drafting a Hurricane guy from you ever.
He's a late. Yeah, he's a day. Well, I would say Daniels was day 3, I think. Yeah, probably around projected, which would be. I'm telling you, he's a solid player. But once again, I don't know if Bills Mafia. What do you guys think? You think Bills Mafia is leaning? Like, if there was a poll, right, of all the Bills Mafia to take, what is the position Bills Mafia would vote the highest on to draft with the first pick, the 26th pick?
Tackle.
Huh?
D tackle. Receiver.
D tackle. You think so? I think receiver. I think Bills Mafia would be heavily.
Everybody wants receiver. The big fat run stuffing D tackle that we would only use 20% of the time.
I have not heard that. I've seen people more on the receiver than anything. But I would love to do a poll like that. I
said edge.
The edge, okay.
A twitchy edge coming off, But even there, like, how much are they really going to play? Because I don't know how much, Leonard's going to swap Groot and Basham in and out. It's not a McDermott style defense anymore. We're not going to be rotating these guys, all game long like we did the others, where the max guy got 60% of the snaps.
These players can play either 3-4, 4-3, bare front. They can play any other front. That's why you get a Bradley Chubb, and they think Rousseau can be one of those guys. So it's like, it's just man. This is what I'm saying, man. We should have just done this shit last year with all those draft picks, but it is what it is. I can't.
We're in a new.
we should have canned him last year too.
We're in a new era, Jarek. Though we can't look back at what ifs. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm sure Mikey's looking at it the same way. This is a new era in a sense. I don't think it's not a rebuild, but it's kind of a retool. And I'm liking so far what I'm seeing, and this draft will tell us a little bit more. And then also, I think this season will tell a lot about the current, our current roster, the roster we have right now before the draft, how these players will respond to especially on the defensive side of the ball, right? Will we see better results from guys that Bills Mafia has been, tough on, like Gregory Rousseau. Right.
Like here, Walter. I don't want TJ Parker. He reminds me like too much of a Groot. I don't think TJ Parker is even in the same class as Groot.
Yeah, I think Groot was a way better prospect.
He gets way too much heat, by the way. Like, I'm sorry. Like, look, everyone has their opinion about Groot. I get it. But if you look about his pay, like, people think he's overpaid. He's not. He's not at all. He's paid about what he should be paid. He's a really good run defender, edge run defender, one of the best in the NFL. And he's a good and pressure rates usually up there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does this year, under the new scheme. But I think Bills Mafia is too sold on sacks. Got to have sacks. Got sacks all the time, and I would love them too. But
it's a sexy stat.
Exactly, I get it. But this guy does a lot for this defense.
I want him to disrupt. I want more disruption than sacks. Like,
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you that too.
Chris Jones doesn't always get the sack, but he always makes the play and disrupts the throw or whatever the case may be.
Right. I'm with you. And for his size and athletic ability, but maybe the scheme too is kind of, he didn't really move around the line much. We're going to find out this year, and it's very interesting.
Play a lot of games. There was no aggressiveness to McDermott's, scheme.
No.
That's part of the problem. Like, you saw the aggressiveness when Hoyt was on the field. Like, when Hoyt came back, you saw a different style defense. The second Hoyt left, it went right back to that vanilla base 4-3.
Correct. Or he ran it at times aggressively during the regular season and then would shy away in the playoffs, which, once again, that's kind of coaching not to lose, right? Not taking chances. And that was his MO, right? So like I said, this year is going to tell a lot about how aggressive this defense is in the regular season and in the playoffs. It's also going to tell a lot about the offense, Mikey. Will this offense, look a little bit different on how they run things, right? Or is it going to be the same old? I think it's going to be different, right? I think Brady's he doesn't have that weight on his back now, or that guy leaning over him, and McDermott, wanting a certain style of play. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm excited for the season, man. The guys are now a little bit more free, to call the game how they want to call the game.
Yeah, he was aggressive on defense all second half versus Denver, except for once he got the lead. Yeah, and that's the problem with McDermott. Once he got the lead, he always his butt puckered.
Yep. Absolutely.
Every time. I think if they get KC or Caden, either player will complete their side of the ball. Listen, what I like most about KC is he's a punt returner too. Let's be honest. Coming in at 26, he's not going to be the dominant receiver that we would want, because most of the attempts are going to go to Moore, Shakir, and Kincaid. So where else can that? It needs to be someone like that.
Yeah, he is. And that dude has some pretty high confidence. I don't know if you hear about the letter or whatever, or that text he put out. That's what he's like. I'm gonna be, if you pass on me or something, I'm gonna be the best receiver. Did I stutter? And I said, bro, that's great. That's fucking great, dude. So yeah, good personality. I rewatched the film again. Rewatched the film. No, I'm just saying he seems like a well-rounded guy, right? Good personality, good player. I watched the film again. I still think there's some areas of his route running that I would, that I think he needs to improve on a little bit. But outside of that, man, he has a speed, good hands. He dropped a few last year, but I'm not going to kill him on that. But I wouldn't hate that pick either. But I just don't know if they go receiver, Mikey, in the first. I just don't know if they do.
They may not.
Wow.
I do have two players I wanted to ask Jarek about. There's two Tennessee players. Joshua Joseph and Brazil. What are your thoughts on those two players?
I like Joshua Joseph a lot. He's a weird player in terms of his build because the man has 34.5-inch arms, that's extremely long for an edge. He plays like it. Long arm extension. I think he might be besides TJ Parker, he may be the king of him and Derek Moore, he may be the king of the long arm extension. Phenomenal edge setter, really good run defending edge, very, very disciplined. He's just not a pure pass rusher. That's kind of the thing about Joshua Joseph. And that's kind of the problem with the second tier guys, because the second tier guys are not all premier pass rushers. They're just not. And so it's like with Joseph's, he has incredible, amazing athletic tools. He's not the biggest guy. He's 243 pounds. You can look at his, he has a slim frame, but he does have the athletic tools. And I think that, again, he comes from Tennessee. Tennessee rotates their defensive linemen more than any position, more than any other group or any other team in college football. They're literally 3-4 deep at that sort of spot. So Joseph's didn't have a lot of premium snaps, which could actually be for the benefit of him because he's already used to playing in a team where he can still play at an active level despite him, having limited snaps. So Joseph is a solid player. And so if he falls all the way to 91 and let's just say you get the player, you get an impact guy at round 1, but then let's just say he falls all the way down to 91. I'm not upset about that pick at all because even though, you're going to have to develop his pass rushing arsenal, but in terms of what he can do, in terms of his ability to stop the run and with the athletic tools that are going to come with it, I think that's high floor level. I think he can play in the NFL today and be a premium run defending defensive end, very similar to another player that was with Cincinnati now, and that's Bowie Mafia. Kind of reminds me a lot of Bowie Mafia in terms of how he kind of came in from Michigan, was able to kind of develop within 2 to 3 years, and ended up becoming just a solid guy for the Seahawks. So I like him. Brazil, he's going to get compared to those Tennessee guys like Jalen Hyatt and Deontay Thorne. He's not.
I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair to him.
It's just not.
I like him. I think he has a high ceiling. I really think he does, man. I think he has the size, the speed. He has some things he needs to work on for sure. But man, where's he projected right now? Did he go up a little bit, Mikey, or is he still kind of day 2, day 3? Where's he at right now? Because I know at one point people had him in around 3, and then I think I saw him creep up
day
to 2 at one point.
He's in the second. He's in right around second round, right between pick
second or third,
40 and 55 is kind of where he's being
second round. So, okay, so because they had him in the third initially, so he's still in. So he creeped up in the second a little bit.
Mid to late second is where he's kind of
okay
right now.
Yeah, so see, you wouldn't even be able to, because I would say, initially I did see early on he was projected around round 3, early round. I would have said, hey, there's a guy you can get, a receiver, round 3. But in second round, we don't have a second round pick, so I don't know if that's a possibility to get Brazil. And obviously, I wouldn't draft from round 1. So, but I think he has upside. I really do.
I agree with Cole. I think he's a better route runner compared to like Jalen Hyatt, Deontay Thorne. I think he's a way better extensive route runner. But I think he does come with what Tennessee receivers have, which is amazing vertical ability. Great after the catch, right running underneath when the ball's in through the air, and his ability to kind of go underneath it and catch it within stride. I think his ball tracking ability is underrated. I think contested catch ability is highly underrated. Not a lot of people kind of talk about it. So I think he provides a lot of those same traits that Tennessee receivers does have. I just think he's a better route runner. The problem is that Tennessee's offense, which again, it's just like they split out they have those wide splits, man, with those type of receivers, and it's like that offense and how and that route tree is just, it's so limited that it's like you just don't know, can Brazil translate with the full extent of route tree, or is that just like more of a one-man thing? So unfortunately for him, it's like, that's going to bite him in the ass playing with Tennessee. But I think he's a much better player than a Deontay Thorne and a Jalen Hyatt is. I just think, unfortunately, he's just having a bad rep because of the program that he comes from.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we were supposed to do a mock draft tonight for the Mafia, for the chat.
Oh, I forgot about that. The chat was gonna. And how long we've been on
let's
for?
Let's do this. An hour and a half already.
Oh shit. Okay.
So let's do this. Let's go live a little bit early on Thursday, and let's do a mock draft before Thursday.
Well, I already scheduled it for 7:30, but if you want me to go earlier, I don't care. Just let me know, because remember, I'll be home all day, so I'm waiting on you. So, do you want me to do you want me to keep it at 7:30 Eastern, or you want me to drop it at 7, or even early?
Well,
I mean, whatever.
7:30, because draft starts at 8.
Correct.
Right. So let's do 7.
So 7. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna reschedule that tomorrow. So we will start our live on Thursday at 7 to do a Bills Mafia mock draft. So you guys will make the selections, and that's pretty cool, actually, Mike. That's a good idea, because that's right before the draft. That's damn cool. Let's see if somebody, let's see if somebody gets it right. Like, let's see if they get it right. Mm-hmm. Or even close. Somebody gets one player right in the draft. That's pretty cool.
Do it now. Keys wants us to do it now. You know what? Let's do this. We'll do a mock draft right now. We won't wait on the chat. We'll let me and you will be the behind the scenes, and Jarek makes final decision.
Okay, but we'll still do one on Thursday, guys.
Yeah,
so which will be fun.
Early on Thursday to do that. All right.
And Jarek, you're welcome. You're welcome, by the way. We're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know what you're doing on your channel, but you're more than welcome to hop on any of those 3 days. And that goes towards, honestly, it goes towards anybody we know, family-wise, that wants to jump on with us those 3 days. I know Captain D might jump on. Anthony from Jets Life might jump on, just to let us know how his picks are going, what he's liking or not liking. So we should have we're going to definitely have some guests on those 3 days.
Okay. Is that enough for you, Tommy?
You're just gonna have to tell me. I can't. I'm on my phone, so it's.
Derek, you good with it on the board?
Can you zoom in a little bit bigger?
Yeah. We don't want to go that big.
Okay, yeah, we don't go that. Yes.
There we go. How's that?
That's fine. Yep.
Okay. So let's get this thing started.
Just tell it. Just talk through it, Mikey.
Tate at 5. Downs at 7. Sonny Styles at 9. I know our boy over west would be excited about Sonny Styles at 9. Tyson at 14 to the Ravens.
Oh, Ravens. Okay.
Yeah. Parham to the Steelers. I could see the Vikings taking a safety. With the retirement of their All-Pro.
Yeah.
Harrison.
Yeah.
All right. So the Bills are on the clock. I'll go all. KC's the top. Mm-hmm. So there's KC. There's Cade McDonald, Mesidor, Blake Miller, Caleb Banks, Cassius Howe, Parker, Allen. What do you think of a linebacker at 26? Is there a linebacker that you would want?
The linebacker that Yeah, this is ultimately what I think they're going to do. I think that at 26, I think CJ Allen having that pro day, I think was huge. That was a huge pro day he did because there's questions about his knee swelling. And I think the fact that he ran like a 4.47 at the pro day was pretty big. I know they're in love with Josiah Trotter. I know that. They're in love with that kid. Football pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't take him the first, but I wouldn't be shocked. That's just what shocked. I would take Jacob Rodriguez if he was available.
I'm with you on that one too. I like that. I like him a lot, man.
Yeah,
but not in the first round.
Right now in the first, I would trade back. I would trade back.
So let me show you what's on the board.
Yeah.
Right now. So Philly wants to move up from 29, give us 29 and 98. New England wants to move up from 31, give us 31 and 95. Tennessee wants to come up and give us 35 and 101 and 142. Cincinnati wants to come up and gives us 41 and 72. Any of those pique your interest, Jarek?
What's Philly?
Philly wants to come up and they're going to give us 29 and 98.
29 and 98. So we have a fifth year, and then New England would give us 26. And then what was the other one? 26.
New England gives us 31 and 95. 35 and 101 and 142. And then 41 and 72. If you want to take Rodriguez, this is the trade you take. You move back to 41.
Yeah, I'm trading back. I'm trading back. I'm trying to see. What do you guys think? What's the better value? Is it?
Well, it depends on what you want. If you want a high-end edge or D tackle, you're probably going to have to stay in round one. If you're okay,
I'm talking about picks. I'm talking for picks.
Oh, picks? I'd take the 41 to 72.
The 41 to 72. Okay.
That's what I would do. Tommy doesn't like to go back that far. He doesn't want to go outside the 30s.
I've done so many mock drafts, guys, where I'm traded down just to see what happens, and they're a disaster. I just don't get the player I think is going to be there is not there, and it just does. I know yours wasn't bad, Mikey, but mine, the ones I've done, I just wasn't pleased with the players that were available when the pick got up in second round. So that's the risk you take, though, right? When you're trading down, just telling you guys, like, that is a risk. That doesn't mean that guy's not going to be drafted. Or, the player you may want is going to slide to that spot. Like, you guys know, every draft, there's teams that are reaching for certain players. Even if, they're projected to go in round 2, they're going round 1. Players that are projected round 3, they're going round 2 early. So, it's a gamble when you're doing that too. When you know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason, like, it's a dicey moving back, man. When we moved back for Keon Coleman, it wasn't that many spots. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't crazy. You drafted what? I think we drafted the first pick in the round 2, right? I believe.
Yeah.
So,
we went back twice. We went back twice. I mean, we could take the 90. We could take 29, 98, and then see if the guys we want. I don't think KC. If you want KC, you have to take him now. With the Niners and New England and all them coming up, I don't think KC stays on the board.
I'm with you, Mikey. I doubt it too. But it's up to you guys. I'm gonna take
the Philly. I'm gonna take the Philly deal because I think realistically, Brandon Beane's not gonna go all the way to 41. He's just not gonna let that happen. Well, so if anything, I feel like 29 and 98 is. We need picks, guys.
And Houston, look, Messidor and Houston went, or CJ went. So now we're back on the clock. KC's still there. McDonald's still there. We have one offer. New England wants to come up for KC. I'm telling you.
No, they're good. No, we can tell them
feeding them weapons, bastards. No way, man.
That's what they did, but they want to come up for KC.
Yeah, probably, right? Yeah.
The only
because they lost Diggs too. You're right. They need as a replacement. They need a receiver there in town to help out May. Absolutely. You're right, Mikey. Yeah. Golly, what do you do there? Right? Because you're helping them out if you trade back.
Yeah.
They're in our division.
You don't trade back with them.
Mm-mm.
I think Brandon. If we don't take a wide receiver, Brandon Cooks will be back.
Right.
So me personally, I take KC here. But that's just me. because I'm not overly fond of the McDonald pick.
I take
If I'm
McDonald.
going to take a D tackle, I'm taking Miller.
Yeah, I'm McDonald all the way there.
All right,
but go ahead.
so
Who's Jarek's
this
the
one's
ultimate
you.
decider?
I'm taking KC. I'm taking KC here. Concepcion.
Okay. I don't hate. Look, I'm not going to be punching the wall if they draft him,
See,
guys.
they
So
took Denzel. Because we took KC, they took Denzel. You knew they were
took
coming
Boston.
with KC.
I think Caden went to Houston, which is
Oh man.
I do
He
think
went
though at
42.
26 to 29, I think it's between Casey and Caden McDonald. I mean, I'm good with either or.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to be mad at either
Honestly,
one,
I
bro.
wouldn't take Cade. I would take Harris over Cade.
Damn, really?
I'd much rather have Harris. Yeah, Christian.
McDonald's such
Miller.
a beast, bro.
Christian
Though
Miller. Miller.
he's such a beast, though, Mikey. I mean,
In the run game,
it's
you don't get much out of the pass
sick.
game from him.
Yeah, but you got Ed Oliver next to you, man, and Ed Oliver plays his best when he has a guy like that next to him, man. And it's unfortunate we haven't had that next to Ed since we drafted him. You get a guy that young, that dominant in college at that position, bro. Ed's gonna eat. We're gonna swallow up running backs. Like everything we've been wanting is right there, dude. That's why I don't know, Mikey, man. Like I would hate to see that guy go somewhere and be the guy that I think he's going to become in the NFL, and we're going to be like, damn, we had our opportunity, we let it slip out of our hands. So, yeah.
Barham went. So we have 91, and then I think we have like 95 or 98 or 91 and 98 now.
So now this is what I would do if we're in this position. This is all again. I'm gonna let you guys do it. Help me with along as well. But I would take Jalen Farmer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna let you guys kind of decide with that.
Okay, so let's look at D tackles. See who's there. Corleone's still there, but you can probably get him. Proctor's still there. I'm a big Proctor fan.
I'm
a real big Proctor fan.
Yep.
You know, Edge. Height still there, Sapp still there. I'm a big
Sapp.
Crawford fan. I love Crawford.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I love his tape. Are you a fan of Crawford?
I like Crawford. Crawford's very athletic, very, very athletic. You're gonna have to develop his pass rush game, but Crawford is just an athletic beast that if you put him in the right spot, he can definitely thrive. I like Anthony Lucas too. I think Lucas, he's not an edge. You're gonna slide him in the inside, but Lucas, if you're looking for like more of a projected 4-eye, that's extremely strong, like very, very strong dude. Just doesn't know really what he's doing because of where he's played at. I think Lucas, you put some weight on that dude, I think he could be a dominant 4-eye in the future. But we're looking for impact players now.
Mm-hmm. So let's look.
Yeah, I'm a Farmer guy. That's just me personally. I think Farmer.
Yep.
I'm a Farmer guy based off of for Pittsburgh, but
what do you think of Lewis? Some people think he's going to have to move to safety.
He's interesting. Because he can. He like. I think he's a slot backer. I just like. I don't want to play him in line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to play him more as an outside because I mean you see it on tape. He has a terrible time of seeing and actually processing on the field because he just doesn't have the size. But in coverage, he's the best coverage linebacker in the class, and it's not even close. He is like he could legit play as a slot. That's how good I think that dude is. It's just in the run game, you play him in the run game as a linebacker. He has the same issue. Like then he becomes the same issue that Harold Perkins has, which is just undersized. You take on blockers. You can clearly see the deficiencies. Doesn't process in the run game extremely well. But man, as a coverage player, disgusting coverage player.
Mm-hmm. What about Caleb E. Moore? I'm a big fan of that guy.
Oh yeah, he's raw athletically. I mean, athletically, he's athletically that dude can make plays athletically. Keyshawn Elliott's underrated, man. I think Keyshawn Elliott in terms of, and I'm just saying in terms of run processing, I think he's the best run processor. Period. Better than Sony, at least for what I've seen. Better than Sony, better than Reese, better than CJ. He's the best run processor I've seen. It's just, but again, it's just about taking on specific blocks. I think in terms of effort, I think he does take some plays off a little bit. I think coverage wise, he's not really that good in coverage, but he is. You can tell his dad's a coach. You can tell he's a film junkie, because when I'm telling you, he's beating dudes to the play before they even get there. He sees it. He's a nasty read and react player, but
Okay.
You know.
All right, so we're gonna go Jordan Farmer here. Okay, get the guard that may win from day one, that left guard spot.
Which I don't hate. I don't hate it.
What you guys think though? You guys looking for something else?
No, I want to hate that. I want to hate it at all.
I'm looking for impact guys. Protecting Josh Allen's never a bad idea.
Nope, never. And run block and all that other good stuff. Yep.
And knowing we still have 98 coming right up, that's the extra pick we got for moving back and still getting the guy that we wanted.
Yeah, I'm with you.
With that. So now
you get your guard under a rookie deal, right? Yep.
So now here's the real question: do you take the D tackle and Proctor, or do you take the linebacker?
Are we already there now, Mikey?
Yeah, we're 98.
Are we there now? Who's available? Because I can't see the board. So,
from D tackle and linebacker, you have Corleone and Proctor. From linebacker, you have stupid ad keeps popping up. You have Perkins, Elam Orr, and is that Ellis? Keyshawn something.
I'd go Proctor. I'd go Proctor here if it was my decision, but it's ultimately, Jared deciding on that one. But I like Proctor.
Yeah.
We do need a 4-eye slasher, and I don't know if TJ Sanders is that. I don't know if he's that. I think Proctor fits perfectly within that role because I can just slide him the 5 tech as well, and he can play. I got my guys in terms of what I think. I think another underrated one is corner. For some reason, they love specific corners, but I think that's more G3 specific.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Safety, I'm willing to move off of safety. Again, I'm a huge fan of the safety class.
But Clark's still there from.
Yep, Bud Clark is there, and I think he's a post safety. I think he's a natural post safety.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to worry about the safety position next draft. Next draft, I think they're good with it this year.
Still there. I don't know if you're a height fan or not.
Man, I'm not a fan of height. I try my best to like height. I know the Bills are fans. I know that they love Tyreek Sapp to death because he's a 4-eye. He's an actual 4-eye that can defend the run, and we don't have that on this team. So that's a.
Well, do we go him here or do you go Proctor here?
Man, I want.
I would take Proctor. Just me personally.
I'm gonna go Proctor. Mm-hmm. Realistically, they probably will go with Sapp because he's an actual end. But Proctor, God, Proctor is so underrated, so underrated.
And you could slide Proctor inside when you go to your diamond nickel.
Yep.
Yeah.
He could play that 3 tech and give you pass rush ability when you need it. You could put him in at Oliver in a NASCAR type package, on the field. Wouldn't that be fun?
If Elliott is still there, this is where I'll take him. I'll take Elliott if you. Yep. No, he's gone.
Damn it, he's gone. So it's Lawson, Bryce, Jefferson. Love York, but he's so small.
Yeah, he's small. The Bills like Jimmy Rolder because he's like Jake. He's like a mini Jake Galladay, just athletic, very great blitzer. But then everything else is just.
But we can get him later in the draft.
Yeah, you can get him raw. You get him. You see, this is the problem with taking KC because I ain't gonna lie. I think pound for pound, I think Brendan Thompson is the best receiver in this entire class. It's just that his size. He's 5'9", 165 pounds. But I would love to take Brendan Thompson, but
he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. It's just that are they going to take 3 receivers in the offseason? Yeah, that's the problem.
Even taking one, they're gonna. I still feel like I wouldn't rule out Keon Coleman being traded. Still, I wouldn't rule out Palmer being cut at some point after post June. I just wouldn't rule that out. I know it sounds like they want to keep Keon Coleman from all the talk, but that could also just be their way of making him more tradable. for GMs to be like, oh, okay, they still believe in him. They must believe in him for a reason. And, hyping him up a little bit more than putting him down for potential trade. So I wouldn't totally, say that won't happen. But I do feel like if they draft a receiver, they're getting rid of one of those guys. And it probably will be Palmer. And they'll just have to take the pay cut. They'll have to eat the dead cap.
All right. So sitting here, the best guys, obviously Brennan. I'm a Lance fan too. If we don't take one in round one, I'd be okay with us. I'd take Lance late. Like, he reminds me so much of Christian Watson. His game.
Mm-hmm. I really like Bryce Lance.
Yeah. You talk about a big, tall, fast guy that could stack, and bring it back to deep ball. You could get him in, round 3, round 4. Looking here, Lawson,
I would check out
Davis. Lawson.
I would check out Lawson. He's got experience. He's got experience playing in the 3-4 of Nick Saban. He's played in a 4-2-5 base defense. He's played 4-2-5. He's got experience playing in multiple different fronts. 3-3-5. He's played in. He's been a Wolf. His problem is his size and then the injuries. Like the man, like Ty Simpson had gastritis, so did Deontay. Like he played at 212 this year. Now his regular weight, it's like 228, 230. So you're not gonna be overjoyed with the size, but he's got all the traits to be a starting linebacker within this league. He's got great experience, great instincts, great run instincts, solid coverage ability, which I just think that we haven't seen the best out of this kid. But probably of the linebackers, because now at this point you're taking raw prospects. Like Bryce Botcher is a crazy athlete, but he just doesn't have a lot of experience playing the position.
Would you rather have Lawson or would you rather have Jimmy?
I'd Lawson. I'll take Lawson a million times over Jimmy.
Okay, we'll take Lawson here. Because it was either him or Takario Davis or Taffy.
I like Taff too.
Yeah, I like Taff. He's a center. He's a true center fielder. That's what you're going to get at.
Mm-hmm.
You're not trying to bring that guy down in the box. Now I wish there was a way to make it go faster. I like it going slower at the beginning of the draft, and I want it to speed up at the end of the draft. Do we get a receiver? Yes.
What round are we in right now?
First.
Where are we at right now? What round, Mikey? I can't see.
Round 5. Pick 165. Round 5, pick 165. Look at that. They're both still on the board, too.
Yep.
Taffy and Davis.
I think
Green.
Who are the other safeties on the board?
I'm curious. We already took our guard.
Bo Stevens. Yep. I'm a big fan of Bo Stevens as well from Iowa. Crazy athlete. Yeah, I actually think he's a better fit than Palmer.
Yeah. I'm a big Bo fan. So we have Taft, we have Dalton, Bishop. I love Cole, but because he's just fallen down because he didn't play last year.
Oh, he played. He played every game last year.
Did he?
Yep. You know what his problem was?
He just didn't show up.
No. He was the best safety on that team. Here's the problem with Cole. They used him as a box linebacker, and that's the problem. At North Dakota State,
why? Because I couldn't find him. When I was checking the tape for the safeties, he wasn't out there.
Yep, he didn't even get a combine invite because Owen Heineke took that spot. And Owen Heineke, I'm sorry, man. I got to go on a mini rant. This man, Owen Heineke, decided to took the combine spot from Cole. Then he performed at the combine, did everything nice, and then he went back to college. When has that happened before?
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, that's ridiculous. Come on, man. And this man Cole got robbed an opportunity. Now you go at his combine. He ran a 4.49 at his combine, and people question his speed. his lateral quickness. Could he play as a one high safety? And then he all of a sudden at the pro day, and he's showcasing this great, like he had a crazy 10-yard split, did phenomenal at the DB drills. Man, I hope that Cole Wisniewski goes a lot higher, because I think that dude's a top 10 safety within this draft class. I don't think he's a split field or a linebacker. I legit think he can play as I think he can legit play as a one high safety. It's just the fact that he didn't get to prove it because Texas Tech played him more as a box line, played him more as like a box to box player, very box to box player, and they played him at some more box to box split. But at North Dakota State, he was just simply a single high safety. Yeah. And so I just felt like he got done dirty, but he's a really good player.
I'm a fan. I don't understand why he's so low. So we're here. We're still looking for edge. Do we take Tucker here? He's an older edge. Tucker or Taff?
What would you go?
Because we pick again in 3 picks. So I'd probably go Taft here and then come back with Tucker.
Okay, we can go Michael Taft.
A Taft, then come back with Tucker. I mean, usually this is where I take, Stevens, but we already grabbed a stupid thing. I'm liking how this has fallen to us overall.
Yeah, it's actually where it worked out. That was a smart trade, that the initial, because we went down a few spots. We stayed in the first, and I didn't hate it. Yeah, I didn't hate that. Yeah. Now that would be ideal, right? If a team were to just want to go up a couple spots, we move down a couple and we still acquire another pick. And that's a possibility. That I could see that.
Let's look at corners because we got it, because I think this is where we take a corner here.
Late round corners, that's right up Fuller. I like Fuller. I think he fits.
I think they'll pull the trigger on Fuller. I think they'll pull the trigger on him. They're going to take a physical corner. They're going to take a physical press man, jam you on the line of scrimmage. That's what they're going to take. They're going to take big physical corners.
Do you think they take him in the 6th though?
Yeah, I think they'll take it in day 3. I wouldn't be. I mean, like if Julian Neal is there in round 3 and round 4, and like there's not a lot of crazy rotation on the front, but there's a lot of crazy rotation typically for like Vance Joseph, Jim Leonard defenses anyway. So I wouldn't be shocked if they took like Julian Neal in like the 3rd round or something like that. But yeah, I think Fuller is a guy, very just physical, extremely physical, really good route recognition player. I think that guy is a potential gem.
Okay. Anybody else you see here at the top of the board that before we go and grab that you would like us to take?
Probably. What's the quarterbacks looking like?
Black.
I like Caleb Black
best,
too.
Yeah. Tylen Green, Klubenik, Daniels, Hayes King.
I'll take Cade because he's a Carolina kid, and Bean got to get his Carolina kids. Happens every year in the draft. We always got to take one. I mean, if you're not from Kentucky,
but isn't Tylen Green built more like Josh?
Yeah, he's 6'6", like 245 pounds.
Like, don't you think they would rather have that as the backup?
They could and just kind of let him develop, because he's
like Milton,
who has hero ball mentality. Yeah. Who's that sound like?
Like I thought Milton would have been a perfect backup here. I felt like he what is going on with him, by the way? I know he got traded for the Patriots, right? Where is he with now, Milton?
Dallas.
Yeah, he went
Dallas. He's an interesting player, man. Yeah. He's interesting, man. I still think he has an opportunity in the league.
Which one would you take, really, Jarek?
I'll take Cade. I think Cade is the better quarterback. The better prospect will be Taylor, but the better quarterback is Cade. And Cade can run too. Cade's mobile.
I don't think they'll take a quarterback. They should.
I don't either.
Think they will.
I don't either.
I like Cyrus Allen a lot. I've seen with the Cincy.
They're eventually going to have to draft a quarterback, though, Mikey, in time. They're going to have to eventually get a quarterback. I think the Jake Fromm draft pick really fucked Bean's head up. You don't want to do that again.
Take Fuller here.
Mm-hmm.
And then that closes it out.
All right, let's see what this grade is.
Tommy,
I got an A+. I got an A+, Jarek, the other day and beat out Mikey's draft. Mikey got like a C- or something.
You're high. You're high, brother.
The chat was all agreeing how great my draft was and how poor Mikey's was. It's just great. It was wonderful.
That sounds just like it. Carson Beck. Take Carson Beck. I want no part of Carson Beck.
From the U.
Jalen Green. Push the button.
Oh, man.
Cade was a 400-meter champion. I'd like to draft quarterback and then trade him for picks. Yeah, do the old school Green Bay thing.
Yeah, that's what the Patriots did.
B+. Good job, guys. Good job,
They did not like our Farmer or Proctor picks. They loved our other picks, though. They did not like our Farmer or Proctor pick.
Damn them.
So yeah, I can kiss our ass. It's all right.
Draft, train for bag of chips. Yeah, I like this. I like this draft.
Yeah. I don't hate it at all. I don't hate it at all. You got a lot of players that could fit. Yeah, absolutely. They could fill in too. You got a receiver.
You didn't get the big fat nose tackle though.
We didn't. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Deion's gonna have to suffer another year. Unfortunately, playing nose.
That's when you go sign DJ Reed.
Or Dwayne Carter. Yeah. All right. Dwayne Carter. He talked about him being a gap filler. So we put.
I'm not sold on Carter, man. I just don't see it, man. I think Reader would be a really good option. He is still floating out there on free agency. No, I think he's still available, isn't he? Or did he get signed? I thought he was still available. I think he met with somebody.
Reader?
I don't think he got signed though. I could be wrong.
No,
though.
I think Reader's still available.
Yeah, I think so too. I could be wrong though.
I can look it up.
Yeah, look it up real quick. I thought I heard that he was going to talk to a certain team after the draft or something like that. And it seems like a lot of players that are still available. That's what's happening right now. A lot of these players are going to get talk to teams after the draft.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about Tyreek Hill? Just curious, not for us, but just him floating out there. You think who winds up giving him an opportunity? Because he's still a premier player. I mean, he's still a guy that could do something. You think the Chiefs? He goes back. He finds his way back with the Chiefs.
Yeah, KC, LA, Rams.
Saying DJ Reader is in talks with the Giants right now.
Okay, but he hasn't signed, right?
Not signed.
They're probably waiting after the draft then. Okay. Well, then it's possible.
I could see him going to KC. I could see him going to LA, being white. Can you please imagine him in the slot with Puka and Devontae?
Yeah,
I heard that name. You're right. I heard LA too. That's wild. Yeah.
I could see that. I could see him going to San Francisco to play opposite of Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to play, like there's not a whole lot in front of him in San Francisco.
Yeah, true. Is there any free agents out there, guys, before we go, that you would, that are out there that you would like to sign, like that you think still could help this team out?
Yep, I would say Reader and I would say Matt Milano. I think they'll do that anyway.
I would love to see Matt play middle linebacker because he does bring the lumber, and as the older he gets, the bigger he's gotten as well.
Yeah, true.
Put on some weight,
Yeah, interesting. I think honestly too, guys, like the draft's exciting. It's awesome, but I think after the draft too, we're going to start seeing some names come in. Some of these free agents, because we still have a little bit of money to spend. So very curious.
We really don't.
They got a
Because-
little, Mikey. They have a little.
Not really,
It's fine.
because once you take in the draft, the signing the draft, and all the things, Andy needs money to move around in season. So we really don't.
True.
The 13
I mean,
million is
well,
pretty
they
much-
still could do some maneuver. They still could do the $2.5 million cut for Palmer, which would save
Yeah,
them
the
2.5 after post June. So I think they'll have a little bit of money, not a lot, but there's definitely going to be a free agent signing, Mikey. 100%. I think somebody will wind up signing after the draft. I mean, they're already talking about it, So I don't know. That's how I see it. I see there's definitely going to be a signing or two.
Yeah,
could be wrong.
And it could be that it's Brandon Cooks. Because we don't get a wide receiver.
I would think that would be a bad. I wouldn't like that move, man. He just doesn't have good hands, Mikey. I wouldn't get it. I really want to understand it.
He's like, there ain't nobody I can think of that I want. You wouldn't want Reader?
Wow, really, Keys? Damn.
I'll be interested to see what happens after June 1 when some of these cuts come out.
True. That you're right, Mikey. After June 1, right. To see if like a Palmer's cut. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yep. Hell no on Brandon Cooks. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Dean talked about him.
He did. But I just, man, Boy, you better work on the jug machine and get some gloves or something. Better gloves. Whatever you got to do, man. You got to come down with the ball.
There's one lever to pull. That's it. Dion.
Yep. All right, Mikey. So I think that's it for the night, right?
Jarek, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. I've been wanting to do this with you for the last few weeks because I wanted to get your take.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
You killed it as I expected you would. We appreciate you. And if you want to come on during the draft, Tommy and I will be on both Friday and Saturday, I think, or Thursday, Friday. I think, Tommy, you're going Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm going all 3 days. But what I'll do, Jarek, I'll send you the link, each day that go, for each day's draft. And if you want to pop on anytime, man. And we appreciate you coming on. And where can they find you at, man?
Jant Sports on YouTube, and then Jant716 on X.
There you go. That's where to find him, man. He's always putting out some kind of rant. So either about Bam or the Bills.
We take Cash out at 26. You're gonna see me go on another rant. Hey, just gonna be playing 20% of the snaps.
Oh man. So yeah, we appreciate you, Jarek. We appreciate all of y'all chilling with us tonight. Sorry that I had to do this from the car, but the show must go on. And we will be back. Oh, actually, Mikey, I forgot to say, Mafia Talk's actually doing a show Wednesday at 8. So I'll be scheduling that tomorrow. So you guys, they'll be talking draft talk as well. So Jay and Big Cuz will be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'll have that scheduled tomorrow, guys. And then me and Mikey obviously will be Thursday at 7 for the draft to do a mock draft with you guys, where you guys make the picks. And then I'll be back with Mikey on Friday as well. And then Saturday I'll be on as well. So it's going to be a full week of a lot of stuff going on in Mafia Sports Report. Mikey, any last words?
No, thank you for riding with us. It's always fun. We ran 2 hours tonight, but you guys always lead the way for us tonight. Jarek, again, appreciate you hopping on. Sorry about the rough start, but we rebounded and crushed it down the end. So we'll see you guys Thursday night.
All right, Bills Mafia. We love you, and as always, go Bills. Peace.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
That's right.